Once an album is finished, the marketing team, and hopefully the artists themselves, starts taking a closer look at the tracks to find which song has the best hook for the audience to grasp and get them in the door, so to speak. Hence, the single was born. Granted, there are many cases where the song released as a single is the best song on the album, i.e. Hotel California and Whole Lotta Love, but this process isn't perfect. In fact, some would argue it isn't good at all. Seriously, the 1975's Matty Healy, why wasn't Menswear picked as a single, eh? Anyway, this means across some fan singles, but which have broken their confines to still become regarded as one of the best, or even most popular, tunes from their respective artists. I'm Josh from What Culture Music, and these are 10 great songs never released as singles. Number 10, Jenny Was a Friend of Mine, The Killers. In fairness, it's easy to see why Jenny Was a Friend of Mine never became a single. Unlike the actual singles from Hot Fuss, which were stomping indie disco tour de forces about sick lullabies and he said, she said romantic drama, the opening track from the album is about the murder of the titular Jenny from the point of view of the potential killer. An executive would struggle to sell that kind of content as a single now, but way back in the mid-2000s, for a brand new band as well, any chance of it becoming a radio hit was out of the question. That's a huge shame though, because not only is the lyrical content markedly different from anything else the Killers have ever done, but it has hooks for days. The detailed lyrics, Brandon Flowers' shaky vocals, the riff that crowds belt out at festivals, it's a Killers classic in spite of its lack of single release. It's the kind of track executives didn't think could sell records, but which routinely convinces people to come to live shows. Number 9. Bargain, The Who. The Who had weathered through a disastrous few months as they failed to get their next opus Lifehouse off the ground. When they came upon recording Who's Next, the remnants from the abandoned sessions yielded fantastic tracks though, like Won't Get Fooled Again and the hypnotic Baba O'Riley. One song on the record that never fully got its due though is Bargain, which is one of the nastiest tracks on the record. Whereas each single had an epic tone to its presentation, the guitar riff on this song smacks you in the mouth as it powers its way through open chords amid mass distortion. However, the song's message betrays the furious backing track underneath. The song's sound is rather harsh, but Pete Townshend's words speak of the devotion that he has to his love and how he would consider any hardship that he may face in his life a bargain if it means he could stay with this person. The contrasting tones of the instrumentation and lyrics work beautifully as the song builds to mammoth choruses before coming to a more subtle ending of synthesizers. It's a lovely come down from Baba O'Riley and a deep look at what Who's Next had to offer. Number 8, Love of My Life, Queen. Queen were poised to create their masterstroke with A Night at the Opera, where the band experimented with everything from jazz to classical to ragtime styles. The definitive song on the record is of course Bohemian Rhapsody, which was vocalist Freddie Mercury's brainchild and a massive moment in 20th century music. Mercury's other contributions resulted in tunes that were equally as strong though. The song Love of My Life is one of the prettiest tunes Mercury would ever compose. Whereas rock lyrics at the time dealt with love in a more juvenile manner, this track is one of the purest declarations of devotion in rock music history. The melody is simple yet elegant, and Mercury's performance is one of the most impassioned vocals he would ever deliver on record. The song itself has developed a life of its own now, becoming a fan favorite almost immediately. Occasionally, the crowd would overpower the band's volume when they performed it live, as the audience sang the song back to the band with an overwhelming intensity. Even though Freddie has moved on from this world, the song is still played live by Brian May as a tribute to the beautiful talent Freddie shared with everyone. Number 7, Speed Demon, Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson's Bad has stood as one of the greatest pop albums of the 1980s. The album had nearly flawless production and an unheard of 9 songs released as singles. With over half the record being a single cut then, Speed Demon was one of the few that was sidelined from the single release treatment, which is a shame given its incredible groove. The song's ode to high-speed driving spares no expense as it brings in engines revving and horns to put the listener behind the wheel. Underneath it all, the drums and rhythm guitar keep everything low to the ground and grooving as well, but what makes the song jump is the vocals in conjunction with the bass guitar. Jackson's voice is very percussive throughout the verses before diving into held notes for the chorus. This leaves space for what is one of the funkiest bass lines ever created this side of Flea. Number 6, 505, Arctic Monkeys. For the most part, the Arctic Monkeys have absolutely smashed it when it comes to choosing the best singles to reflect their albums. However, despite a wealth of radio-worthy tracks, the first album only actually received 2 official singles, while follow-up Favourite Worst Nightmare only enjoyed 3. As a result, 505, one of the Arctics' most beloved live tunes, ended up being a deep album cut. Compared to the other singles from the record though, this should have provided a major change of pace, ushering in the band's more anthemic sensibilities prior to Humbug. It's perhaps the slow build that stopped it hitting radio though. The stripped-down, moody first couple of minutes put the emphasis on Alex Turner's lyrics, as he longs for a distant lover. Of course, this only makes for memorable, biting sing-along lines like, "I'd probably still adore you with your hands around my neck." Of course, this slow teasing build-up only makes the explosive payoff all the better, with the entire band coming in with a barrage of cathartic sound as Turner's vocals get more intense, letting out a wailing, "I crumble completely when you cry." It sounds awesome on record and even better surrounded by thousands of people anticipating that drop. Number 5. Moonage Daydream, David Bowie. In the 1970s, David Bowie seemed to be revolutionizing the rock landscape with every subsequent release. With his 1972 album, Bowie fashioned an epic story based around the character of Ziggy Stardust. The LP, considered one of Bowie's best, only received 2 singles though, leaving a whole bunch of tracks unattended to. It's Moonage Daydream which stands out the most to me though, now considered one of Bowie's most recognizable tracks thanks to an infectious sing-along chorus structured around a simplistic but amazingly effective guitar riff. It's one of the artist's tracks that has been covered the most as well, partly because its appeal is so universal. From the Last Shadow Puppets to the Eagles of death metal, pretty much every band has a cover of Moonage Daydream ready to go to get instant rapturous applause at festivals across the globe. Number 4. Gimme Shelter, The Rolling Stones. For my money, Gimme Shelter is the Rolling Stones song. Sure, there are other big hitters vying for that spot, particularly Paint It Black and Sympathy for the Devil, but nothing quite captures what made this rock band so special quite like this tune. Everything about the track is epic and important with a capital I, yet it never goes overboard, keeping a tight structure throughout. That works in its favour though, as it makes the parts of the track that threaten to break these confines, like the wailing towards the end of the song, all the more powerful. It comes so close to being totally unhinged at times, but it never falls over that edge. From being included in pretty much every gangster movie ever made to being a staple of live shows, Gimme Shelter is a highlight not just from the album it came from, but from the Stones' 50-plus year career. Number 3. I Hope I Think I Know, Oasis. When stacked up against the rest of their discography, Be Here Now is the Oasis record that is the most overdone. With songs ranging from 5 to 10 minutes, each tune has a certain grandeur that falls into self-indulgence in more than a few places. Still, that didn't mean the hard-rocking Oasis were gone for good. Halfway through the record, I Hope I Think I Know is a delightful piece of Beatles-sounding pop that was quite invigorating upon first listen. Liam Gallagher's vocal on this tune is one of his best, and his snide accent meshed with the line, "You'll never forget my name," is absolute perfection. Instead of coming off as pretentious, this lyric is emotionally forceful as he ensures that even though he is separated from his significant other, it's not going to be easy to forget him. Clocking in at just under 5 minutes, this track is one of the most straight-ahead songs on the whole record, and one whose core tune never feels lethargic, coping with life in the city environment. The song's beautiful major chord melody belies the dark lyrics about drug abuse within. Given his overwhelming feelings of living in the city, our main character turns to the pleasures of narcotics to take him away from his messed up world. Instead of the melancholy found on September Ends, Give Me Novocaine is a sad lament of not wanting to feel pain and the ongoing desire to be numb from all your worldly troubles. Also, while I'm on the topic of Green Day, you can count Nimrod Scattered as an honourable mention here, because I couldn't go this whole list without mentioning it. Number 1. Black, Pearl Jam. Pearl Jam's debut record 10 was one of the biggest explosions of the grunge era. The band displayed great grooves throughout while also having a captivating presence in frontman Eddie Vedder. So it's a wonder why one of Vedder's finest vocal performances was never released as a single. After the life-affirming rock songs Even Flow and Alive, Black is a song that comes from a much more personal place. The song deals with the heartache felt after Vedder's love has left him. As the track goes on, Vedder starts to realize that many parts of his life have disappeared with his love, leaving nothing but shades of black and broken glass all around him. This culminates in one of the most potent emotional moments when Vedder wishes his love a happy life, but also pleads as to why he can't be with her anymore. The sense of agony that pours out of Vedder's throat is devastating, and due to the deep emotional ties, Vedder refused to have this song released to the public as a single. So that's our list. Want to know what you guys think down in the comments below. I'm sure there's loads of tracks I missed off here. I'd love to do a follow-up, so let me know. And while you're down there, could you give us a like, share, subscribe, and head over to whatculture.com for more lists and news like this every single day. Even if you don't though, I've been Josh, thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon.